TJ, you did this so expertly yesterday. We're doing this once a day for the next 7 days because there's 8 NFL divisions. You have come up with the best player in the history of every team in the history of the National Football League.
Yes.
And we're doing it division by division. We did the AFC East yesterday. You came up with Bruce Smith, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, and Joe Namath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in honor of Craig Kilborn, who's from the great state of Minnesota, the NFC North. I need NFL Films music from you, Jay. Go ahead, TJ Jefferson. The floor is yours.
All right, so continuing with this greatest player in franchise history, I'm going to start off with the easiest one. That's Detroit Lions. I'm going to go Barry Sanders.
That's a no-brainer.
No-brainer. For the Chicago Bears, also pretty tough, but I decided to go with Sweetness, Walter Payton. For the Packers, I mean, you had 3 quarterbacks to choose from.
Aaron Rodgers.
I went with Rodgers over Favre and Starr just because I've seen Aaron Rodgers make passes I don't think anyone else could ever make. The Vikings. Now, Craig's here. He's a Minnesota Viking
We can
fan.
ask Craig his opinion on this.
It could have been Randy Moss. It could have been Adrian Peterson. It could have been Fran Tarkington. I went with Alan Page. I just thought
you can go
the
wrong
Purple
with
People
that.
Eaters, what Alan Page did on the field, and I know what you do off the field shouldn't count towards this, but then his career after the football just kind of added to it. But those are my picks right there for the NFC North.
Alan Page is, because again, when we were coming up with this endeavor, you even asked yesterday, Chris, like, is it going to be all quarterbacks?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
And I told you.
And I'm like, you know what? You can go some franchises defense, and I mentioned the Vikings as one of them. Alan Page is not a bad. I mean, Carl Eller also is in the Hall of Fame. You could have gone in his direction.
You know what, John Randall?
You know what gave Alan Page the nod, though, guys? Hall of Fame's in Canton, Ohio, right?
Yep.
Do you realize that Alan Page once worked on the construction crew of the Hall of Fame?
You know who helped also dig the foundation for it, too, was Dan Dierdorf.
Really? I did
Yes,
not know that.
Dierdorf also did that and made it into the Hall of Fame himself as well. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest Packer of all time.
I would have went Bart Starr, I think.
I would have gone Bart Starr, too, but Favre and Rodgers' numbers are insane.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was a tough
career
one.
numbers are insane.
The fourth MVP.
That's what kind of put it over because my initial was Bart Starr.
But I understand that you make Namath the greatest Jet of all time.
Well, that was just
the
'cause I
number
didn't
of
argue
great
with you.
Packers that there have been since then, and even at the quarterback position, it would be tough to name Bart Starr to this day as the greatest Packer of all time.
Kind of feel
but
that
you
way.
could still make that argument, and here's my argument for Bart Starr too. There are very few resume lines in the world quite like Bart Starr's. MVP of Super Bowls 1 and 2.
Yeah. The Ice Bowl.
That's kind of like Neil Armstrong. I was the first to walk on the moon. You know what I mean? Like, go beat that resume line.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the.
It was tough.
I don't
It was
equate
tough.
playing football in terms of going to the moon. But I'm just
I've
saying
seen people hit so
the
hard.
Super Bowl will forever be the American sports event. And he was the first MVP of the Super Bowl and then was the first to go back-to-back. And he did it in the first 2.
After he had won a bunch of NFL championships.
Correct.
Look, if Packers fan, like I said, that one was the toughest one. If you feel Bart Starr's there, throwing my hands up. I'm not going to argue with anybody out there. And by the way, it could have very easily been Bart Starr. It just came down to the fact that Aaron Rodgers I've seen do crazy stuff.
I also kind of dig the fact that as we go about this over the next week, that you've named a current player. He might wind up being the only one. Oh, no, Brady is still current.
Brady's still current, yeah. There'll probably be at least
he'll be current
one
player
or two
long
other.
after maybe Rodgers is done, too.